one of the challenges that project teams face as they do their risk analysis is to understand what really is the impact of that risk to the project schedule, right? And so there's been some ways we've done that historically, but with Safran Risk, we've introduced a new way, which we think is much more powerful and much more insightful to the project team. So what are we talking about? Well, we'll go ahead and do a risk analysis here, right? So we've done our risk analysis, and we have our distribution graph, which shows us kind of a range of outcomes, right? Standard information we've all seen before and we're comfortable with, right? Historically, the next step we would take is once we understand kind of what the range of outcomes is, we want to then say, well, what are the drivers, right? And so there's a traditional view of drivers, which is done here. We see here, we've taken a little bit of a different spin and brought the risk and the activity drivers together on one screen so you can see that. And while it's insightful, it's often challenging to really explain this in the organization, right? They see this, they see the bars, and they want to put some numbers against it, right? Unfortunately, the best number we have is this correlation metric, right? Because that's really what we're doing here. We're measuring the correlation between either the risk and the project finish or an activity and the project finish, right? Remember, correlation is just a measure of how related are these two items, right? So what we can gather from this is this communication risk is the strongest risk driver. It most likely correlates to driving the project finish date. But it doesn't give us insight into what is the cost and schedule impact. It just says, yep, it's a driver, right? And organizations struggle with this. I've seen many risk teams and project teams trying to communicate what this chart means to an executive, and the executive kind of focuses in on that number and says, well, 0.65, what does that represent? Is that 65% of the time this is a driver? Is it 65% of the impact? Like, they're looking for a way to really quantify that. And so we've been to think about that. And we said, well, what can we do differently? How can we really give teams the insight into what's driving their project schedule and their project cost?